On to the part of Spongebob Squarepants, the movie game. This time we're going through 3,000 miles to Shell City, and we just got our ability to upcut again, except instead of the helmets, we actually have our fists, like a freaking boxing glove essentially. And not only that, but with this move, we also get reintroduced to an enemy we've met back in Battle for Bikini Bottom as well. You might recognize him in fact. Yep, it's that guy again. And like back in the fucking thing, you know, we just have to upcut his ass and he dies. Well, there is that. Or we can do the other thing of ricocheting his shots back at him, like so. Takes about 2 hits to take him down, that way. It's easier too than going up to him and actually like uppercutting him, so yeah. That upgrade ability, it's gonna be needed because you're gonna need to get used to actually, you know, reflecting shots back like that a good bit later on in the game. Anyway, there's also these flying freaking crates, which we gotta do is destroy them to get to spots, or we can actually just uppercut them like that, or we can just like, you know, walk on them essentially. But yeah, our uppercut ability is being mainly used here, and in fact this game is going to be doing that a lot, where levels are going to heavily, well at least mildly heavily, use the ability you just unlocked from getting all of those Goofy Goofer tokens to unlock it. And you will need the Goofy Goofer tokens in order to take care of this shit. Also, yes, it's just slime and you will slip around and shit. But yeah, the enemies here, oh, we can't upgrade again, and guess what, the upgrade we're taking this time is going to be for the bash ability we just got. Because this, we got some Macho Bash, which makes our glove a fucking bomb. Well, turns into metal, gives it spikes. So it will attach to the enemies, and then we can detonate it, or we can just wait for it to detonate itself, and it will blow them up, and does more damage that way. And yeah, it's gonna be very useful, especially for getting some of these chests. Because this shit can really open up a bunch of the chests here and such, a bunch of these crates, and give us a whole bunch of those combos we want to get the macho points up. And the radius of the explosions are pretty big too, so it will hit the enemies pretty well as well. It's just gotta make sure they're actually in the radius, which, considering it's all in the air, if they're on the ground it can be a little awful. Of course, the bad side is that, you know, there can be moments when you don't want it to detonate, you don't want to lose that shit, and, yeah, you don't have that much time to, like, react with it and all. So, that kind of sucks. And look, I want to take care of this guy, but I don't want him to stand right there, because I'm going to be missing this fucking collectible there, and oh well, looks like I can't get it now. But hey, now I can press this button over here and destroy this tower. That was pretty easy. And yeah, it gives us a bridge. It's gonna be a lot of goofy shit like that. Now, before I actually leave into the next area, and yes, I can't grab that now, it's too high up, there is this other area under here, in which we'll find another one of the treasure chests in here. There's gonna be a lot of treasure chests to get, and some of them are obviously gonna be, you know, right fucking there. It's not gonna be that hard to get them. Other ones are going to require us to actually know what to do for them. And luckily, this game isn't as much of a dick as BFBB was about the socks. At least, I don't think it is. Like, I remember to get some of the socks and such, I had to get through it as fast as possible for some points and such. But, yeah, ultimately, there's nothing like that. There's no real timed ones to get. But there are some somewhat douchey locations of treasures that you have to go for. And they're mainly going to be not in these platforming levels, like the main levels, but in the racing and another type of level. Yes, they are going to really put the douchey ones there. And yeah, you can hear the hillbilly guys having some jokes and laughs and all. I could, you know, up the audio for them and such, like to hear all that stuff, but Also, you're noticing that I am, unfortunately, just not going to some areas and I'm kind of missing them. And the problem is, I can't go back right now, because there's no way to go back. The water is so far apart that unfortunately if I even try, I'm going to hit the water and I will die. So that's unfortunate. But, yeah. I will show you what happens if you do die. Just this. It's a lot of the same death animations from BFBB, but it gives you that nice little new tune there, which, you know, I kind of like. It's just, like, so depressing. Like, like, it's just goofy while depressing as hell. And I'll hear it a good bit because falling off pits or going into the water and such, that's still going to be the main reason you're going to die for the most part. Also, yeah, be careful about breaking stuff because if you want to get to certain spots to get these collectibles, you kind of have to know what to do with them. And when you have that upgrade for your uppercut, yeah, you don't want to use it when you want to do that because then you'll break everything and then you can't get the shit. I mean, you can respawn it by dying. Like, that's a thing. You can just die and it respawns all the crates and such. But, yeah, even though you have unlimited lives, why would you do that to yourself? Because it also respawns the enemies. And now we have Bouncy Bouncy. And as you can see, there's a token there now from that area. And we can now actually get back to the area. So, yeah, we have another chance to get back over there and not only take care of what's inside there, but also get to that panel over there, because I also didn't go there when I should have. But hey, look at all the bouncing we're doing. Look at all the freaking manly points we're getting out of this. It's not much compared to actually, like, breaking the box and such, but hey, it's something. And there you go, with a burger on our, you know, health again, we have another Goofy Gooper token right in our face. There's also a breakable wall right behind me, which inside of there is going to be another way for us to get a chest, which is don't break these boxes normally, even though you would think you would want to. But instead, uppercut the middle area of it, like this spot, and detonate. Make sure you have the detonation thing, blow them all up, and boom, there you go. I think you actually do need the ability to blow stuff up. Oh. Mindy actually talks about the Spongebob bungee thing. That's fine. It's the bungee thing from BFBB. In fact, it acts exactly the same with its glitches, where if you get caught in spots, you can get unlimited diving. So, yeah. It's the exact same bungee jumping thing, the bungee wedgie thing. So, yeah, it's both easy and it can damage you, so be careful, but there you go. And you can't just get out of it, you have to press the triangle button and then leave and get your token from there. So yeah, that was really easy, and all the bungee ones are easy as. In fact, I don't think BFBB's bungees were ever any harder than that, so yeah, it's kind of the same difficulty overall. We could use a trampoline to go all the way back over to where we were before, or we can just jump across like that and then, you know, go the long way again, go the way we already went. But I'm not just going all the way I went, I'm instead going to use this platform here, jump over to my right, and get over to doing a new ability, a new little thing called the Spongeball Challenge. These areas, these two little mini-game challenges, I would say are basically clones of Mario, at least the Mario bonus levels. And it has my favorite song in the game too. I like this song so much. But yeah, these kind of knock off the bonus levels of like Mario Sunshine and such. So yeah, there's that thing going on. And all this is an obstacle course involving the Spongeball, which is an ability from BFBB, we could do the Spongeball thing anytime we wanted to if we unlocked it in BFBB. But in the movie game, it's only usable in these little mini games. The ability just doesn't exist in the game. So in case you're wondering if you could actually be the Spongeball again, you can, but only if you do the challenges, which there aren't that many Spongeball challenges. So Spongeball really takes a back seat at this point. And also I got 5,000 manly points, so I get to do another upgrade, which I'll put into Patrick's ability of his cartwheel move. Which, as I know, the manly cartwheel is essentially putting like a force field around the, not a force field, you can still take hits, but it makes your radius of damage like much more bigger, and it does more damage as well. Like, that's about the manly cartwheel move right there. It's not a big improvement, but it is an improvement nonetheless. I'm gonna go ahead and put it in right now. What a face. So yeah, that is all the abilities we have currently. So if I get any more upgrades, like upgrade points, all I can really put them on is health. And I'm going to leave health for last. I'm going to keep all of my points only for the abilities until we got all the abilities upgraded. And from there on out, then I can start upgrading my health. And it's gonna take a while for us to get some of these abilities, because the requirements the game expects of you to actually unlock some of these, if you just go through the game normally and you just, you know, complete what you can complete and not go back at any point to any level, you get roadblocked. In fact, I think you get roadblocked at least 2 or 3 times. It's actually kind of annoying, because in BFBB, also there's a button here that moves around, but it's easy. And from blowing that tower up, I'll also open up the way forward to the next area. In fact, this is where the rest of the area is, so we're nearly done at the level now. But, yeah, the biggest issue is that BFBB, you could get almost all of the spatulas and such in BFBB, as long as you have the abilities needed. And you weren't super required to have the abilities to even beat the main missions of the thing, or to even get stuff. Also, yeah, Minnie was gonna tell me about that if I touched the spiky ground around there. Anyway, Floaty Block Challenge is next, and the Floating Block Challenge is a Patrick one, and yeah, it's just boxes, baby. It's just fucking boxes all day. The first one's easy. You get normal boxes, move around a bunch. Then you get spinning boxes, and it spins anywhere at once. It could just be spinning on a regular axis, you know, just left and right. It can also spin up and down. It can spin all around if it wanted to, like the one in the middle there. And then there are sort of disappearing blocks, or invisible blocks. Sort of transparent blocks. They're just white blocks though, really. But ultimately, those blocks will start shrinking until they're gone completely. So you don't want to be on them for long. And, you know, you can't double jump very well as Patrick compared to Spongebob, because Spongebob can actually, like, do the spin move in the air, so it gives him some extra distance. Patrick can't. He can't spin in the air, so unfortunately, he's got a bit of a smaller jump than Spongebob does, and you're gonna have to really make use of the distance you have, or else you're going to get fucked. And, yeah, these sort of blocks here, the ones that, you know, move like this, yeah, be careful of them. They're easy to fall off from. Also, yes, there are just a set amount of manly points all over certain spots of these. You can collect all of them you want. You have the time for it. You have a lot of time, in fact. Just don't fall. Only time this game ever does this, by the way, for these challenges. It's kind of cool to see. But, yeah. I'm gonna grab all of these at least. I don't have to, but I just want to. And, yeah, there's the end. There's the token. Now, keep this in mind. Like, keep this minigame in mind. Because I'm not going to spoil it yet, but it's important why I'm bringing up why this minigame is a bit more important than the other minigames, like the Spongeball one or the combat one. The combat one is the hardest out of the three, but the floating block challenges mainly have something that you're going to have to pay attention to almost every time you do them. And there's only one time in the Spongeball challenges where that gets its moments compared to the blocks. Also, you can go around here and hey, Patrick gets Steam is unlocked, which I can't do yet because it's a Patrick thing. Only Patrick can actually fuck around with those ice blocks there. Instead, we go this way to do an away fight. It's not really a away fight, it's just a respawn fight. Destroy the respawners with your explosives. And then kill the enemies, and that's it. And hey, they're together right now, so I can do this. Easy. And now we can leave. Now, before I leave, I gotta get all of my health back and get all these melee points that are around here before we then jump across. And we're just right back where we were beforehand, but a little bit more forward to this button here at least. And over across here is the final tower and basically the end of the level. Now, back in the last level, the last platforming level where we had to be Patrick for it, there was a like porta potty box or whatever, like a changing room box that was right next to that token at the end. And I didn't go into it at all. You can go into it and you can use it to change characters. And since we don't have to get a token here to end it, and instead we can essentially just change to Patrick anytime we want, or change back to Spongeball anytime we want. Considering it's a Patrick thing around here, I'm gonna switch characters.
That was really weird.
And yeah, see, that's his cartwheel move now. It has like that little, shield thing going on, little effect going on. But yeah, it's a Patrick challenge there, and hey, there's a SpongeBob there now. Depending on what characters you are, you can even find Patrick or SpongeBob in the background, just being silly or what have you. It's kind of neat, kind of cute. Also, I keep forgetting which button it is to swing. It's like the R1 button. I'm not going to get used to that, because I think in BFBB it was triangle. It's not triangle in this one, though. It's R1. So I think they changed the button here. Or it could be the same button. It's been a while since I played Battle Bikini Bottom. Even though this is the exact same game for the most part still. This really is just BFBB 2. It's literally the sequel to that game. It's just not as good as BFBB. It is more linear, it has less going on for it, and the whole ability thing is just kind of naff. There's less to it, the abilities, than there were in BFBB. The cartwheel move is neat though, I will say that much, but I do miss Sandy. Anyway, notice I have 2 out of 3 treasure chests. That is because the 3rd treasure chest is actually in the floating blocks challenge, and you need to look for it. Almost all of the floating block challenges have a treasure chest in them, so you gotta look for that shit. And the treasure chest for this one is up here at the very beginning, pretty much. Just go over to a block that rises up pretty far up and grab it. There you go. And the thing is, you can't leave. If I go to pause and then try to like teleport my way there, it will teleport me back to the very beginning unless I use one of the ones that are close to the exit. And I can't just like bail, because then I just get sent back to the start or checkpoint, and my timer is still be the same when I start this. That sucks. But if you do complete a challenge you've already done again, you will get this little ending spot here and some music and some melee points out of it. About 100 for each one, I think. And I think it stays 100 every time, or it lowers 50 and what have you. But yeah, you can use that to get your melee points you want, so there is that at least. But yeah, that is pretty much the minigames and how they all work and their sort of functionality of it all. And now I'm going to go ahead and end the level because we're at the exit now, and yeah, we can just end it. And by the way, you can hit all 3 of the buttons that were floating around over there with like one move with this explosive ability we have now. But first of all, let's take care of these guys, because these guys in BFBB were not a huge pain. In the movie game, they really fucking are, and the game knows that, and they're going to make them a real pain in the ass. Anyway, I timed it poorly here, unfortunately. I thought I had it, but I didn't. That one was a bit too far away, but whatever. I did it. Here it is. And with that, we have our final gift giver token, because now we've 100%ed our, we've done our first 100% level, essentially. And, yeah, don't get used to that, because we're going to be having a lot of levels where I can't get them all because I have the ability I need for it. And by the way, it's now time for the third and final game type. It's one we know of all along. It's a sliding one.
I found one last spot with those ugly plankton propaganda towers. Use whatever you can find to knock them down. The last of Plankton's propaganda towers are here on the edge of the desert.
Oh, breathtakingly evil!
These tracks form part of the slide through this area. I need you two to race down them and knock those towers over.
Sounds kinda hard.
Don't worry, guys. Stay on the track, jump over obstacles, and hit any plankton signs you see along the way. Good luck!
You know what's done about this one? What's done about this one is just the fact that no matter what the fuck you do here on the first go, it is actually impossible to get all the treasure chests in this one. This is the first time we're not going to be able to get all the treasure chests in a level on our first go. The developers kind of made sure on that, because it is not possible for us to even get to it. You should be able to see it, but over to my right, there is a potential platform, but it's raised up. And I can't get to that. I can't get to that platform. You need to get to that platform to get the chests. But because it's raised up, I couldn't do it. And it's raised up for this sequence. Now it's lowered, and that chest is there, but there's not really a way for you to get back down. You can maybe jump down your left there if you can land very well on there and not fall off, and then use that to get all the way around again and get it. But, yeah, for the most part, you are going to miss that chest. And the game kind of expects you to get that chest by coming back to the level later on. And in fact, the game wants you to come back and do the races and the slide levels more than once. You are expected to do these again and again at least 3 more times. Now, they do change up a little bit on each one. It's just, what the missions are is just dumb. I'm not going to tell you what they are. They're all the same. But if you want to know what the hardest part of this game is, it is 100% the game because of the sliding and driving levels. If the game just, you know, gave you only 1 token for these, and you just had to do the fucking token run there, and that was it, you gotta go to treasure chests and shit, and that was it, wouldn't be a problem, because the platforming is not that big of a deal. The minigames, even though the combat ones kinda suck, they are not that hard. But it's doing these, It's doing the fucking paddy wagon and the sliding levels. That just suck. And the reason for that is because they are rather long ones. In fact, the sliding ones have rather long winding paths all over the fucking place. I think more so than BFBB ever did. Like, the most I've seen was the fucking vine forest or what have you. The seaweed forest. With the fucking whole mess going around there. And maybe the ski resort level with the free areas for that one. Like the free sliding areas for that. But even then, those weren't as, like, stupid as one of the fucking sliding levels in this game. BFBB sliding levels, its sliding challenges, are not as bad as the ones in this game. Especially for one of them that I honestly consider to be the worst level in the game. It is absolute dog shit. But hey, we did it. We beat it.
I knew you guys could do it. Here's your reward.
And with that done, we destroy all the towers, and we got another token. And now it's time for us to look at another cutscene. And just about end the part, essentially.
Our heroes, having foiled Plankton's evil plans, continue across the desert. But Plankton remains one stubby step ahead of them. He sends someone to make sure that they will fail. He is a vicious, ruthless killer named Dennis. Fortunately, Spongebob and Patrick have discovered the paddy wagon in a parking lot. But the key is missing. So the only thing to do is to go into the rough, tough bar and look for it. Good luck, my friends. You're going to need it.
So yeah, it's the part of the movie where we basically, you know, find our ride, and we have to get the key for it, and it's in that tough bar area, and, you know, it's gonna get crazy from there. We're gonna get a new ability, in fact, one you can definitely recognize, and one that we definitely do need, as well as an enemy that you can easily recognize too.
You have to get the key to the paddy wagon back. Good news, Patrick! You've got enough Goofy Goober tokens for me to teach you a new ability.
My flop is the mightiest flop of all!
It's called the Smash.
In the air?
Yes, you have to be in the air for the Smash to work. You can use it to press buttons, break through floors, and even defeat enemies. The paddy wagon is parked outside, but you'll need to get the key back to use it.
That doesn't sound hard.
You'll probably have to defeat all of the thugs to get to it.
That sounds hard.
You can do it, I know you can.
Well, if you believe in me, then I can do it.
The key to the paddy wagon.
Careful. Easy. You got it!
We got our sound ability back, and we have the return of the spinner enemy. And we'll be dealing with that shit next time in Spongebob Squarepants, the movie game. I'll see you then for this level.